One main world, one creation dream.
We are going to enter into the character design role, okay? Alright, so let's start with those cool things that we can play for this game, okay? So I'm going to move to this area and I'm going to show you three different things, the three different characters that we get on this map. The first one, the second one, and the third one. So the first one, the first character I designed for this is going to be the Viking. Okay, it doesn't allow me to open this. Okay, so I think I need the other one, the one that looks like a person. Let me check. I think I will be able to. Yes. So that's the first character. The second character is going to be Ella. And the third character, the last one, it's going to be Loki. And of course there is a sub-character here that is going to be the gold, okay? The boulder, actually. Okay, so guys, for the game, I create different characters, okay guys? And our capture is going to be only related with character design. This is going to be easy, guys. Don't worry about that. And it's first, how do I create these characters, okay? So, those are going to be the three main characters. This is going to be YeyoCore that Ella can summon, okay? But this is going to be the design for every one of the characters, okay? So here you have the first one that is going to be the defender, okay? The defender class, it's going to have a specific model, all right? Then we got Ella that is going to be the fielder class design, or the fielder class model. That is actually not more related like defense or attack, it's more like a balanced character, okay? And the third one that we get is this one that is going to be Loki. That's the name that I give it, but actually in game you are going to see it as a striker, and it's going to be a fast character, okay? So first I'm going to teach you how I design those, and then we are going to design a new class, okay? So, and well, of course, finally, then we got the boulder. Boulder is YeyoCore that can be summoned, but of course, you can see it in game, okay? So let's start with Thor, or the actual defense player, okay? Oh, that's very cool. Okay, Basti, if you can, but you mean from my web or directly from the game, okay? All right, so let's start with this one, okay? So before creating the visual part of your map, you are going to have this specific information, and take a look at it or take a screenshot for it. With this a specific page, you will be able to create and be very creative with your characters. So to create a character, and before creating your map, we need to define first different things, okay? So before starting with this, we are going to delete this, and we need to define, before starting creating the character, how is your game style game, okay? So I'm going to show you some quick examples here, guys. The first example is the different classes, okay? So when you are creating a character, before creating the character, you need to define the rules of your game, okay? As an example, depending on your shooter, you can have different ways to create classes, okay? So let me show you a quick idea or a quick way to create the classes, okay? So the first example is bunkers. In bunkers, you will be able to choose your class, and it's going to be very similar to this one. So it's like you have in heroes, every hero is going to have different skills. But remember, this is going to be related with your game style, okay? So if, as an example, in your shooter, you have a game style like this one, you need to be very careful. So in this game, you will have a system that is based on attackers, defenders, or supporters, okay? And depending of that, you are going to have like different items. On here, you choose a kit, a complete kit. That means that if you select any of the players, you will have a full set of items, okay? So as an example, on here, we got an attacker that says that is a scout. And a basic description is a flanker hero with high agility and a melee weapon. We have another attacker that is the pyro that has is attack class 2 and has high damage and is low and heavy, okay? As you see, we have like different ways and different roles for the players. We have a defender that is a sniper, that is a long range character and has high damage but is not too much agile. We have the engineer that boosts defensive structures and controls the zone. And as an example, as a supporter, we have the medic that heals the other players. Or as an example, we have the builder that creates builds scenarios and also slow down the enemies. If I choose any of them, I will be automatically have like the different items created, okay? So in this game, the main target is to capture an area, so that's going to be related with it. The attackers will be able to take the area, the defenders will be able to control the area, and the supporters will be able to bring support, okay? So as you see, all the items have been added. As an example, in here, I have my main gun, a second skill, and my skill that allows me to fly for a little bit, okay? Let me show you. And that will change, of course. Let me... Okay, so as you see, the character is like having different features, okay? That's the first system, it's in a specific class, like the one we got in the game. Another system that I create for the shooter for selecting the class is, and those are just examples, guys, I need you to check those examples, is the power load one, okay? In power load, you don't have like specific stats depending of your class. Instead of that, you have an items stat. So you will have always a main weapon, an attack item, a defense item, and movement item, okay? But also you can choose a specific class, okay? But instead of the other game that you have a specific set of items, what you are going to do with selecting a specific class here is to have more items for a specific kind. As an example, if you choose assassin, you will have 2 items of attack and 1 of movement, and you are not going to have defense at all. If you choose heavy, you are going to have 2 items of attack and 1 of defense and no movement item. And also, as an example, if you choose flank, you are going to have 2 movement skills and 1 attack but no defense. So let me show you. I got the same menu right here, or let me use the same menu right here. As an example, I select assassin, okay? On here you can see the stats, more attack, medium defense, and movement, and no defense. If I got it, alright, it's here on the pack. What it's going to change is the setup for my items. Now I have a main gun, 2 items of attack, and 1 defense. Of course, you can use those to buy items here. As you see, every item is going to ask you for a different skill or different thing. Or you can use random by just clicking on the bottom, okay? That's another way that you can set up the classes for a shooter. The third example that I'm going to put you is this one. and I'm going to show you 4 examples only. That is wizards. In wizards, what you are going to get is like different elements, okay? So your character it can access to all the items, but the starting kit is going to depend of what class you select. So at the beginning, it's going to ask you if you want to be a wind bender, if you want to be an earth bender, a fire bender, or a water bender. And depending on that, your character is going to have like different items, but also is going to have better access to the initial items, okay? So things that change. The player is going to have a different ward that has a passive skill. It's going to have a different ultimate, a different passive, but you can get all the other items right here. So you can still access to the water skills and all the other things, but the starting kit is going to be different, okay? That's another example. And the final example that you can define for your sugar map will be like this. It is actually the most complicated one, and is that the players doesn't have a specific class. What they will be able to do is to switch the classes, okay? As an example, on this one, the class depends of what you get at the beginning, but every time that you entered in a robot, you will have like different skills. So whenever you are tired from a robot like this, as an example, okay, so as an example, I get bored of this robot and the different skills it has. So I just get down of the robot and I enter to other, and the robot is going to have like different skills. Okay, bad idea to do what I did. Okay, I don't know why I did that. Okay, yeah. It's because the spider can climb walls. Like this. Alright, no, I don't remember how to do it. Okay, so let's try it once more. Alright, and every time that you change the robot, you are going to have like different skills. Okay? That's the difficult one, the most difficult one to create. But as you see, are different ways to create, like the different ways that you can choose to create a different class system for your game. Remember that having a normal shooter is kind of cool, but having like different classes is going to give it a deeper strategy to your game. So as you see now, I have different skills and different item set, and that just depends of my robot, okay? So now that you know the basics, we are going to create a specific set for our game, okay? So before filling the character page, we already defined something, okay? And let's move back. We defined that our characters are going to have a lot of things. First, they are going to have a main weapon, okay? They are going to have a skill, and they are going to have a passive skill, okay? That's how our characters are going to work for this shooter. Remember that you can define whatever of the previous examples, you can do it, guys. But it's very important to start on there, okay? So define that. I already defined it here. So first, our characters are going to have a status or a stat that is going to be the speed. They are going to have different life. They are going to have a different weapons. And they are going to have an active skill. Let me be more clear here. Active skill means something that you can use in your inventory, okay? They are going to have a passive skill, is something that you cannot use, but it's going to have like a passive skill for them, like something that you don't use actively, but as an example, they are going to have 30% damage or something else. They are going to have a specific amount of ammo and a specific amount of damage. Of course, you can add or reduce more stats. That's going to make your characters be a little bit different, okay? So moving to the game that we are creating right now, I will move back to it, and I'm going to show you a review back of the characters, okay? So we are going to start with the character that is going to be Thor, okay? So that is going to be this one. All right, so once more, if you are in buying time, no items on here. On here we have like the items to build this scenario, okay? And the upgrade item that allows us to upgrade the blocks and make it stronger, or the downgrade that will allow us to recover some blocks and reduce the level of the blocks, okay? That's for now. We are going to start with this character, okay? So I'm going to duplicate this, and let's start with the staging ideas. My character name, the defensive one, is Keeper, because this is an sport, okay? So the Keeper is going to try to protect the area, the defensive area, with some skills, okay? So remember, in my game, if you enter to the enemy goal, you won a point and you won the game. The role is going to be defensive, okay? And it depends on your map. As an example, in this map, I based my map too much in soccer, but you can have a different shooter. As an example, in your map, the main role is to destroy, I don't know, to kill more mobs. And so a role could be killer, another role will be healer, and another role will be, I don't know. You can choose whatever you want it, okay? On here we have 3 different roles, okay? Defensive, medium, and attacker, okay? Alright, so for this one I put this specific one that is going to be the defensive role, okay? Now, on game you will see already the different items, okay? So you have to design your skills according to your character. So if I got a character that needs to defend this area, of course I'm not interested that this character is going to be a long range. So this character is not going to have like too much power throwing snowballs. As you see, the character only can throw snowballs very close. It cannot reach the enemy stronghold, because we don't need that. We need this character to defend, okay? This character, as is going to be a defensive character, has a melee weapon that can use to push players. So if a player is coming here and I give it a hit, the player is going to be pushed. The idea is to avoid the players to enter here. Also, the second skill is going to be related with defense. It's going to be the shield. The shield, what it's going to do is it's going to deflect. That means if someone shoots me a snowball, while I have this shield, it's going to deflect that snowball, and also it's going to push the players away. So if a player tries to get close to me, when I have the skill activated, that is the active skill, the player is also going to be pushed away. Okay? Let me see if I can test. Okay, no, I didn't put a dummy on it, okay? So that's going to be the 3 skills for the player, for this character. Now let me show you in the paper. So the theme for this, or what is the idea, let's put it on that way, about this character. This character is a Viking. Course, because all the characters is Vikings, but this is a character that is going to be big, corpulent, because it's a defensive flyer. So guys, try to match your character with the skills. As an example, if you have a character that is going to be very strong, try to put something that makes the visual part to be the character a little bit strong. Okay, big, corpulent. And very important, I base my characters in Nordic gods, so this is going to be related with Thor. Thor was the god that has the Mjolnir, and you probably know already a lot of things of Thor by Marvel, but this is a Nordic god in the real history, okay? And is going to have a thunder idea, okay? Now the art style that I'm going to use is pixel or voxel art, and for this I advise you to get some specific images from the internet that you can use just to check this. So let me use my internet here. I'm going to show you what I did, okay? So whenever I want to create the art for a character, I start by sketching, But also I start by looking for references, okay? So I highly advise you to get Pinterest here. Pinterest is a website that allows you to get some images about what you like and what you design. All right, not even with games, you can find a lot of things here, but you can check some art style here. So you can start by looking by Vikings as an example. And in here you can get some references that you can take. As an example, the runes that I would like to improve. As you see, the skills that this character has are related with runes, okay? So I just create this one that is the actual running game and different gems for every skill, okay? So that's very important for the active skills. I use those runes. So that's something I take from Pinterest, okay? And Pinterest has a good availability. If you hit on here on save, you can choose like kind of artwork. So as an example, I'm going to create one that says Pixel Vikings, okay? Snowball, okay? And you also can make your board like how do you call it? Secret one, okay? So you can save here all the things that you wanted. As an example, I can copy a look from Dark Ragnar from these areas. So I just click on here and I select the where I want to save that collection, okay? So as an example, I get a lot of ideas from here. As you see, the Vikings used to have like a beard. In real life, the Vikings doesn't have horns in their helmets, but I know that is very common, that misconception, and I love it for games, okay? As an example, if I want to be more specific, I can put just Pixels Viking, and I can get more ideas about how to create a Viking game, okay? Once you got your ideas, hey, you can access to your different folders right here. You have a lot of options here, as an example, and you can look for yours. Most of the times it's going to be the end, and all the things that you save are going to be here. So I get some inspirations for that. As an example, you can get some looks here. Once more, let me put those here. Let's looking for Thor for these specific characters. Hello, Jockey, how are you? Okay, and as you see, all right, we got to most of the images related with Thor from Marvel, but we are going to get more related mythology. So we are going to be able to get more ideas. So as you see, Thor is very similar in all the ideas. He's a strong character that has long hair, and yeah, he's strong, okay? So as an example, you get those ideas, always have a hammer. So all that images, you can just save it and put it in your artboard for your character, okay? So as an example, I like this one. So what I like from this one is the size of the body or the rope or whatever you got it, okay? So you can put that on here. You can do that or in your specific folder. When you got a lot of images, you can use a lot of things, okay? So for that art style, I'm going to move back to here. Miniboard was a little bit bugged here. And I'm going to explain how I designed the character, okay? So, for Thor, first, if you check the body of the different players, you see that Thor is the biggest, and as you see, it's also the only one that has beard, okay? First, I start with a design that looks a little bit bigger because, you know, it's the defensive flyer needs to be a little bit stronger. Also, there was a fun part that I put it on, and I want to make a fatty character because this is a cartoon game. So if you realize, Thor is not only big, it's also, it has a belly on it, and it is covered, that part. That was like an actual funny part that I want to put it on the character. As this character is a Nordic character, I put it on the red hair, and also I put it blue eyes, okay? Very important, guys. for the art style, I put a different colors for each one of the characters. So once we got all the reference here, put the story. So in my case, the story about Thor is actually he's not Thor, he's a normal player, but he has been blessed by Thor, so he has some skills related with thunders and things like that. Okay? Once more, this is the keeper, and something that I use and I always use in my games is use a specific color for each class. Okay? So check this, for Thor I use blue color, okay? And I'm going to let you know, or light blue. Of course, this is more like indigo color, or I forgot how to call it, but it's kind of light blue color, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's thunder related, so the thunder is light blue, and also because in game all the skills are going to be related around that color. So once more, let me start this, okay? So as you see, I can use the blue here. You always have like a direct idea. And when the game starts, okay, let's wait a little bit. But when the game starts, all the skills, all the UE are going to be related with blue and gray, because that's the colors that I use for Thor. And I want to show you also this, the skills, the effects that you are going to have for every skill is also going to be blue, okay? And let me show you that. Of course, we have to wait a little bit. In between, while we wait for that, let me show you here. So, as this is going to be a defensive player, we are going to have less speed. So, in the different games, Thor is going to be the slower one, is the one that is more like heavy, so it's going to be slower in comparison of the other players, okay? So the first statistic that I use is the speed, okay? So most of the players are going to start with 10 of speed by minibird. Mine is going to be 8, so it's going to be slower. As this is a defensive player, is the one that is going to have more life. As you see here, the player has 25% more of life. Remember that minibird's life is 100, okay? The weapon is going to be a melee weapon that you can use also for attack, but once more, it's not going to have too much range and it's going to be slow. So the main idea of this is that if you are going to create a defensive character, the defensive character is not in the other side of the map trying to enter to the room, because, well, that's another role. So as you see, once more, blue color, okay? If you look outside, the particles around the player are also in blue. Remember that every player I put a particle on it. And if you see, you are going to see small particles flying around Thor, and as you see, are blue, just as the other aspects, okay? So remember, the color is blue, okay? And also, if I use the skills are going to be blue. So all the things are going to be always related with the color of the class, okay? Now, active skill is going to be a shield, in my case, and it's going to be a shield that deflects or reflects bullets and pliers, okay? As you see, everything is related with defense, okay? Because we are going to create a defensive role here, okay? Once more, the second skill of the hammer is to deflect bullets. So if you press shortly the hammer, the hammer is going to deflect any bullet that goes to the player, okay? Another cool thing about this is the passive skill, okay? So in my case, we got one item, two items, the ammo or the snowballs that you use to attack, but also here you have a passive skill. For Thor, the skill is going to be corpulent, that gives us collision knockback. That means that if I collide with a player like this, the player is going to be thrown away to another part of the map, okay? So if you see, it's a passive skill that is related with defense. So if a player is coming around here, well, I just try to intersect the player and push it away to take that player out of the game room. So in this case, it's going to be corpulent. And another part of the passive skill here is that it's going to increase the melee knockback. That means that every time that I click on the player is going to be pushed 3 blocks away, okay? Now, for the ammo, it's something only related to my game. This player can collect up to 8 balls, okay? It's the player that has more ammo, but also is the player that throws slower the ammo that is going to be the snowballs, okay? So check this, I'm going to just use all the ammos here. So I wouldn't have like more snowballs, okay? So remember that in the map you only can recharge or you can only reload your guns if you are in the snow, okay guys? So check this, if I move around the snow, I can get up to 8 balls, okay? So that's going to be only the amount of ammo, and the damage that the Thor does is actually not the best, okay? Because this player is once more a defensive player, the damage that he can does is the next one. He can does 15 of damage with melee attack, okay? 15 of melee, and he only can do 15 with the bolts, okay? And that's the character design you can see here, okay? So very important, guys, take note of that. Of course, you will have like different ideas for your maps, okay? So let's do a quick check about how to create another character here, okay? So we already got Thor. Now we are going to design another one that is going to be the keeper, okay? The fielder. The fielder is another character in the game, okay? Okay, where is it? It's at this side. Okay, for this character, I base the story in the goddess Ella. Ella, in the Nordic mythology, was the goddess of the dead, okay? So once more, the role is going to be like supportive balanced, okay? It's going to be the actual player that is not going to be like in the defensive part or in the end of the or in the top of the field. It's going to be in the middle and is to be able to push, okay? It's going to be supportive and pusher. That means pusher in my game means that it's going to make the players like to be trying to defend in itself, okay? It's not very good to enter into the enemy's core, that is the main target, but it's one that is going to help the players to work better. The team is going to be Ella, that is the goddess of death, okay? So, in the Nordic mythology, Ella could mythology, okay? So in the Nordic mythology, Ella is the goddess of the dead, okay? So it's one of the brothers of a Thor, and is a goddess of death, of course, okay? So as I use this as a color, I choose an art style related with death, okay? So all the skills and all the ideas are going to be related with death. Of course, I'm not going to dig deeper on that one because I already showed you how to create a game style, but what I designed for her is first, she's a woman, second, she used okay, I don't know what happened with my character, so let's do an expression because I'm a little bit stressed about my Ultra Instinct skills. So I don't know if you've seen, but I'm Ultra Instinct Yeyo. Right here, I don't know how to take down that. Let me see if right here if I... Okay, no, I think I put on the wrong section. Let's change to survival. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so the colors are very related with that, with cold colors. Once more, I use a specific color for her, and it's the purple, okay? So on here, I'm going to put the color of purple. And once more, on here, we are going to change some things. But what I want to show you is that okay, let's take a little bit. The colors are going to be related with purple, okay? So once more, the particle on the player is going to be a purple color. And the skills are going to be in purple. Once more, also, if I summon a creature, it's going to have purple color in it, the item is going to be purple, and even the creature has a purple color on it, okay? That's why I create that, it's very important. The speed is going to be a normal speed, guys. And the idea is that, and this is a balanced player character, so it's going to be a normal speed, okay? The life is also going to be normal, so it's going to be 100, no more speed. The weapon is a long range one, okay? So that means, and it's going to hit the other side of the room, okay? Let's check this. As this player has a supportive role, I can actually use that to attack the enemy shelter from a long distance, okay? As you see here. Alright, so check that. Alright, the active skill is going to be Summon Butter, okay? And what is a butter, okay? You've been wondering what is butter, okay? Butter is a guardian spirit in the Nordic mythology, so once more is related with this. It's someone that you reborn, a spirit that you use to defend yourself, related with the goodness of death, and is related with the Viking mythology, okay? The passive skill is Vitality, okay? Once more is a skill that will allow you to auto-heal if you receive damage, but you have to be, as an example, behind a wall, you haven't received damage, and you are going to start healing yourself. So, once more is the idea to make this player last longer and be able to push the players away, avoid the other players to access to the room, but not literally be a defensive player. It can be on this area, and just by covering, it can control the area. Once more is just something that is related with the role here, okay? The ammo is going to be five snowballs. That means that the player is going to have a balanced area, okay? And the damage is going to be 15, which is going to be low, okay? As you see, it's more balanced player, okay? It's something that your player will enjoy, okay? And then I'm not going to go too much deeper on this one, on the last one, but the last one, in my case, is going to be the striker, okay? Striker role is to enter into the enemy gold, okay? It's the one that is going to score the points, okay? So right now we got a player that defends, a player that goes in the midfield that actually is kind of balanced. The last one is going to be the striker, okay? But the striker doesn't mean that it has more damage, it has more speed. Because once more, the target in my shooter on my shooter is enter into the enemy score, okay? That is in the other side of the map, of course. So the theme for this one I use is Loki. Loki was the god of lies and yeah, it's kind of it's very, you probably already know a lot of by this god because Marvel, but Loki originally was a god of lies and it can transform and is something very agile here, okay? So you see there is a lot of art around Loki, not only the one from Marvel. We got a lot of ideas of this one. So for this one, what I did is to create a very, as this is going to be the striker, the faster player, It's going to be a very tiny player. It's not going to be fat, it's not going to be corpulent, and it's going to be a little bit smaller. And also I changed the hair, I put it short hair, so it's going to be very different from the other characters, okay? Another cool detail that I put in it is the one that this one doesn't have horns, it has a couple of wings on the helmet, and the color, as you see once more, is green, so the eyes are going to be green and some clothes are going to be green, so it's going to be very similar to the other characters, okay? So the art style, I already not going to explain that. The speed for this one, it's going to be a total amount of 1.5, okay? So you have 15% more speed, you have less life, as this player main idea is to be fast. It doesn't need to be very fast, so it's the one that has negative life. The weapon is going to be a medium range one, but it's not going to have too much guns. So the weapon on here, it's going to be a short one that is going to be a medium distance. The active skill, once more, the idea of this character is enter into the enemy goal, so the active skill, once more, is in green, check that. And the active skill is to be fast or to pay a jump very fast, so you will be able to enter into the enemy stronghold very easy, like this. Of course, with that you can evade attacks. The idea once more is to get in this area to 1. If I enter there, I will win. So it's going to be speed, jump. The passive skill is going to be speed, or fast, or agility, that is going to give me 15% of extra speed. Once more, this is a character that is meant to enter into the enemy goal, that is going to be attacker, okay, inside the game. And the ammo, this is one that is going to have less ammo, as the main role is to enter into the enemy goal. Of course, it's going to have a gun to shoot and to be able to break some parts of the map to be able to cross. But the main idea is not the player to be fighting, it's more to evade and try to jump into the enemy defenses to enter here. So it doesn't have too much guns, it only have 2 shots at medium distance. So it's going to be those. But the damage is the one that does more damage, okay? So that's going to be around, if I'm not wrong, this character is going to have 20 of damage. Sorry, it's the one that has more damage, but is the one that is worth like trying to fight, okay? So guys, that's how you design your characters. So I hope the creativity goes on you. I already showed you the different classes. For the next class, I hope, or I expect for you to already have the map and have designed or created the idea about your different characters. Of course, we are not going to create the skills yet, or if you want it, you can start doing it. But I want you to have clear all the information about your character. So take a screenshot of it, and you can start filling the information with this about designing your characters, okay? Once more, very important in here is design your own stats. You can use the same I got here, or you can choose any class choosable, that the ones that I showed you before, or your own, okay? Every time I time in, very good. Stop playing that demonic game. Hi Joseph, how are you? Alright guys, so that's very important. Okay, I put a wrong name on it this time. Alright, so with this you can start already once more creating the basic ideas of your game. Of course, please, I want to see too much creativity on this one, as we are going to assign different characters. You are going to have something very similar, different to most of the games that you will find in Miniworld. Okay, I have the Ultra Instinct once more, I don't know why. Really cool, huh? Yeyo Ultra Instinct here. What about that? Okay, guys, so now please, hello there, send me your UID back. I want to test your zombie map once more. What do you think about this? All right. So, or let me see. Try to pause while I'm running. No, it's not working. Yeah, I cannot do emotes while I'm running here. No, it's not working at all. Okay. All right. So, for the next class, guys, have that ready. Have your map ready also, the visual part. As you see, you don't need to overcomplicate, but if you want to put more decoration, it's okay. But at least the playable part needs to be ready. The next class, we are going to start to create these plugins. So we have to get ready that, and also the characters, okay? My best idea is to create at least 3 characters. You can use the same roles that I'm using here, like defender, that is going to be the keeper, a midfielder, that is going to be the balanced one, and striker, that is going to be the one faster to go into the enemy goal. But that is up to you completely, okay? For now, that is going to be the end of the class.